So as we get deeper into training camp and the pads are now out, so real football is upon us. So it's time we give some more early training camp thoughts on what we think thus far. You're listening to Money in the Bank. So thus far, the offensive line has been one of the things that I've been most intrigued by since camp has started. And right now, according to Joe Person, this would be the starting lineup for that group. Brady Christensen at left tackle, Michael Jordan at left guard, Pat Elflein at center, Corbett at right guard, and Taylor Moton at right tackle. The names you see there are names that I think are there mainly because they've been here before. They've got some continuity together. All of these guys, mind you, except for minus Corbett, were here last year. Corbett being one of those signings in this offseason that I know for a fact was made to become a starter immediately. No waiting in sight. Pat Elflein, if people remember, Elflein was one of those guys that could flex from guard to center, but was a better center than he was a guard. I mean, just throughout his career and even last year, he graded out better as center than he did at guard. So no surprises there for me necessarily. The biggest glaring surprise would be Brady Christensen being the starting left tackle. But if you've seen the tape of Brady Christensen thus far, in the very few clips that we've gotten, he's held his own in the one-on-ones. He's held his own thus far throughout the entirety of the practices thus far. So it's like, yeah, I'm happy, very happy that Brady Christensen is getting the opportunity he deserves at left tackle. What frustrates me, and I think most people, is that we all begged for him to get this opportunity last year. We thought he deserved it last year, and there was no point in not giving him that opportunity last year when you consider that how we weren't really in the race for the playoffs after a certain point. And realistically, we didn't have a shot after a certain juncture either. So we're having to spend another year trying to figure out where he can fit. Now, Ike Ekwonu is the guy you drafted at left tackle. He's the guy that no matter what you say, no matter how well he graded out at guard, because mind you, he did grade out better as a guard than he did at left tackle. No matter how he graded out there, you drafted him to be the anchor of your offensive line at left tackle. You drafted him to be the franchise guy at that position that you haven't had since Jordan Gross. I will say this. If it just so happens that Brady Christensen's the starter at left tackle and Ike Ekwonu is the starter at left guard, I'm still happy with that. Because that would give us probably the best left side of that line we've had since Travell Ward, Jordan Gross type days. You know, I may be wrong on Travell Ward. I think he may have been a tackle, but you get what I'm saying. We're trying to return this offensive line back to its glory days where you had the guys like I said, like a Travell Ward, like a Ryan Khalil, like a Jordan Gross, guys that held it down for you on that front. We need those guys back there, and again, it's intriguing for sure. But mind you, we haven't played a game yet. A game has not been played yet. We'll see as the weeks go by, as the days go by. Each of these sessions are a chance for the guys to show improvement. And yesterday, being the day off, apparently the coaching staff had a meeting, and I would imagine that coach's only meeting was to assess guys that need to be moved up, need to get more reps, and guys that we may need to slide back and kind of start looking forward to the replacements. That's all I could assume from that. But now we got to keep it moving. So next we have the quarterback play. The quarterback competition is not really heating up. It's kind of looking like it's a one-man show. Baker Mayfield is kind of pushed into the lead. Not even kind of. He's pushed into the lead. He's had some great moments, had some good days, got some extra work with guys like Robbie Anderson, who I kind of figured that would kind of work itself out. But Baker Mayfield showing to be the best quarterback in the camp. That was something we knew by far that he was. He was the best quarterback in camp. The only thing that could possibly hold him back is the lack of knowledge of the playbook, or the lack of continuity with the playbook. That's the only thing. But right now, we're seeing him be a professional, seeing him be the pro, seeing him the same guy that took over at Texas Tech in Oklahoma. And I hate using these tropes and these narratives to try to push guys into the forefront. But the realistic thing about Baker Mayfield is he does seem to play better when his back is against the wall, and having a chance to go out and show improve first that to the coaching staff that he needs to be the starter is step one. And the next step is going to be on-field play. I am happy with what I've seen from Matt Corral thus far, though. Let's make that clear. I've been a guy that's been kind of apprehensive to give Corral praise because of the system he came from, the coach he came from, the history of that coach and his quarterbacks in the league doesn't bode very well for the kid. But from what I've seen, I've been impressed, and everybody else has been impressed as well. He's a guy that I think if he continuously push for QB2 reps, I think we're in a great spot. I think we're in a fantastic spot if Matt Corral can be QB2 going into the season. And it kind of proves you're right, that you made the right decision to draft him, and that he probably will be ready by next year. And all is well that ends well. But that's all I really have for you guys today. Not much else that really came to mind as far as updates and early camp thoughts. Not even early camp thoughts. Now we're a weekend and we're getting closer and closer to the first game action of the preseason. So look, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, P1N_Network, Panthers Nation Network. Man, we coming with it live. Follow us on all our social media handles at P1N_Network and our parent page at Panthers Nation with the one where the I's supposed to be. You know what time it is. Look, man, we got more content rolling out as the season gets closer and closer, man. We're getting closer to real football, you guys. It's here. It's wonderful. Aren't you excited? Are you not entertained? And with that being the case, I'm out.